In 11 minutes, Fox 55 News, 11 at 11, starts now.
Yeah, it is. So apparently having some microphone issues. I don't know if you can hear me. They just told me my microphone is not on. It is, though. We might have to... All right, we're good now. Hey, Secretary of State Diego Morales says the window is now open for candidates to file, and dozens did so today. Candidates who want to run for the Democrat or Republican primary can start filing paperwork at the Indiana Secretary of State or Election Division. They started doing that today. The deadline to finish it all up, to file February 6th at noon. Candidates for local offices must file at their county clerk's office. Among those running, just announced office for re-election, it's Senator Liz Brown of Indiana District 15. She filed that paperwork. She represents portions of Allen County. She's expected to face a challenger in Darren Vogt, who launched his campaign last summer. Another Indiana State Senator, Travis Holdman, filed for re-election in State Senate 19. And we've got some sheriff's candidates in May for primary as well in Allen County. Sheriff Troy Hirschberger filing for re-election, and fellow Republican Ken Freese also filing. He's a current Allen County at-large member, and he announced last year that he'd run against Hirschberger. Now over in Steuben County, Republican Mike Meeks announced he is running today, and Sheriff's Detective First Sergeant Chris Emmerich also announcing his candidacy for the Republican nomination. And in Huntington, the county's Chief Deputy Chad Hamill says he filed today as well. Now, Ohio's Governor Mike DeWine endorsing Vivek Ramaswamy for governor and Rob McCauley for lieutenant governor.
This is how legends are made.
Now, DeWine says Ramaswamy is going to help keep Ohio's business momentum going and calls Ohio the best state to build a business and raise a family. They're running against Democrat Amy Acton, who chose former Democratic Chair David Pepper as her running mate on the...
Now, your Storm Team 55 forecast on Fox 55 News.
Well, good evening, everyone. How about 43 degrees for a high when the average is 33? Even our overnight low of 39 degrees is 6 degrees warmer than the average high. We're living large. Now, we do have rain in the forecast and maybe some thunder, believe it or not, which reminds me of an old weather proverb I shared in the last hour that says, if in winter you have thunder, snow will fall in a week or under. Well, we'll see. There's a couple of chances, not just two cold fronts, Friday, Saturday. We've got another one in the middle of next week, but it all depends what those temperatures are going to do. Well, we've had some sunshine. Cloud cover is going to be streaking back in. We're 7 degrees warmer than yesterday. Bluffton, you're down 9. Decatur, Van Wert as well. Defiance, only 5 degrees. But we've got a chance of breaking a record on Friday. 1939, we topped out near 60, 59 degrees. Well, going with 60. Now, earlier this week on Monday, I had 59 again, then dropped it a little bit because I don't know if we're going to get that high. I went to about 55. I think we are now looking at record-breaking territory. Winds are light, so we're going to have fog again in the morning. In fact, we had humidity that was up to about 96%, so that was pretty high this morning. Can't get any higher than 100, but that fog's going to be with us. But take a look. This is the big story here. Wind gust forecast. Take a look at tomorrow night. 40, 45, are you kidding? 50 mile per hour winds. Yes, springtime thunderstorms could be with us. And we're looking at the possibility of that rain with those thunderstorms moving through tomorrow night. So again, on Saturday, a little residual rain, but if it's cold enough, it'll switch over to some snow. The 3-day forecast and the 7-day forecast pretty much look alike. A little bit more snow in the 7, but we've got another storm system middle of next week that could give us some snow, maybe a dusting to an inch. We could still see a good dusting on the back end of Saturday's cold front, but I've been sharing this with you all week. And this is a good look at the rainfall and the pattern. I've showed it every day, and I think I'll continue for tomorrow as well, because each day it drops more rain. Monday it was 1 to 2 inches, then it was 2 to 3, now 3 to 5. I know it's for our neighbors to the south, but again, it's nice to see a large pattern of some heavy rainfall where a lot of places are dealing with drought. Just a few flurries, light snow showers in Ontario. Here's our timing. Notice the rain moving in tomorrow late in the day, and then 10 p.m. I think it gets a little bit heavier. Could hear the clap of thunder overnight as you're sleeping. Don't be surprised. Heavy rainfall at times. Comes to an end Friday afternoon quickly. Here's the next one. Rain, maybe a little mix with some sleet, freezing rain, and then changes back over to a little bit of snow on the back edge. But again, not expecting much more than a dusting. And you can see the snow on Sunday there with a high of only 32. Short-lived cold snap. We're back up to 47 by Tuesday, and there's that renewed chances of snow midweek.
All right, we're covering the economy now. Fort Wayne residents feeling the squeeze with prices for basic needs on the rise. Purdue Fort Wayne released that data that shows Allen County's average private sector wage rose about 10.1% over 10 years, but that still lags behind peak buying power from 2021. Median household income and rent were following similar trends, while grocery prices for a family of 4 went over $12,000 a year. Home prices, meanwhile, went up some 64% since 2015, while rent rose 15%. And we're covering the nation now. We've got new developments out of Minnesota where protesters took to the streets tonight after the Department of Homeland Security says a protester was shot and killed by an ICE agent in Minneapolis. DHS says the woman was trying to run over an ICE officer with her car. This is not that video. This is something else. Now, the agency says the officer was fearing for their life and for the safety of the public. But Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry says after viewing the video of the incident, he doesn't think the woman was posing a risk to ICE agents. He had harsh words, though, for immigration officers, and the back and forth continues. Reactions coming in now from Indiana lawmakers as well. Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita took to X, posting in part, quote, "These kinds of dangerous incidents are fueled by leftist leaders and sanctuary city policies under Mayor Fry that refuse cooperation with federal law enforcement." Senator Jim Banks says ICE isn't going anywhere. He says, quote, "I'm proud to stand with them and grateful for their service."
Now, Fox 55 Sports.
All right, welcome in, everyone. The college basketball season is now fully into conference play, and across Northeast Indiana, that means the clash. Some of the top programs at the NAIA level, and lucky for us, several of those matchups this evening here in the Summit City. We start with the top 10 ranked St. Francis women hosting a Taylor squad already with 14 wins to their name. And the Cougars start off strong. The loose ball recovered by the Cougs. Callie Gregory finds open space in the chaos. She lays it in. That's the Crestview High School grad extending the first quarter lead up to 4. But here come the Trojans. Maddie Allen drives to the hoop and gets the bucket to fall. Things are starting to look good because then it's Casey Warfel looking for space, then creating some herself. The step back 3 is through, and Taylor takes a 7-point lead thanks to their freshman. But St. Francis, well, they're ranked top 10 for a reason. They never lose their fight. Taylor Fortesy drives to the bucket, hits the spinning floater. That's the Carroll grad kick-starting the comeback, and St. Francis runs away with it from there. 62-44 your final. So then it was time for the St. Francis men to take the court. They're hoping to complete the sweep over the Trojans, and early on in this one, the Cougars were looking ready to pounce. That's Mar Avents jumping up for the steal, going coast to coast, drawing the foul, and making the bucket anyway. St. Francis leads in the first half, and Avents was not done yet. Another Cougar steal turns into a slam on the other end. St. Francis leads this one by double digits. So Taylor down, but they're far from out. Pete Combs with the ball. He passes it off. Then take a look as he splits his defender, open down low, slams it through. 17 points on the day for him, and the Trojans hit their stride from there, retaking the lead before halftime and rolling for a 12-point victory for the men's team. Now over to the Schaefer Center we go, where Indiana Tech's top 25 women start a doubleheader against Lords, and early on, the Warriors on upset alert. Tamaya Worthy goes to work down low, up and gets that layup to drop on through. The Gray Wolves take the lead. But the Warriors are far from done. Taylor Covington surveys the court, then just pulls up and shoots it herself, sinks it from deep. Then next play off the pick and roll, and it's Ryan Moorer getting through to the hoop for two. She finished with 16 points. Then check out Covington again. Up the court, dishes to Madison Weiss. The Central Noble grad drains the three. 12 points for her on the day. And Indiana Tech uses a big second half to pick up the victory. So now it's the men's squad looking to complete that Warriors sweep early on. This one, the Steele Brassfield show. He gets a bite on the pass fake, then drives, spins, the fadeaway jumper. It's good, and Indiana Tech takes a 1-point lead early. Lords would respond with a flurry of three-pointers, but here come the Warriors again. Logan Beeston drives, then dishes back out to Brassfield again. He drains the triple this time. 9 points for him in just the first 6 minutes of this game. The Warriors would take the lead at half, but then hold on in crunch time when it matters most, and that is a pair of wins for Indiana Tech basketball today.